Nigel, we're in Belfast City Cemetery. Ahead of us is a memorial. What is the significance?
Well, this part of the cemetery is what's called the reserve ground, and this is where bodies or remains that were either unidentified or were identified but not claimed for private burial were interred. This plot, this reserve ground, is where the bodies of unidentified or people who were identified but not claimed for private burial are interred. The Belfast City Cemetery burial registers record that 209 coffins bearing the remains or bodies of 213 people are buried in the reserved ground. Not all of them were local people. There were 3 members of the Royal Engineers who died in Belfast whilst they were on duty, and also 2 members of the Merchant Navy who died when their ships were hit in Belfast Harbour. Their bodies were subsequently exhumed and returned to Great Britain for burial in family plots. Of the 213 that are recorded as buried here, 54 of them were people who had been identified. There's various reasons why people who were identified as Blitz fatalities were buried here. One is that they might have been identified by relatives, neighbours or friends who didn't have the financial facilities to buy a plot.
Nigel, we've heard of the civilian casualties during the German bombings in 1941. What of the military casualties?
There was also military fatalities which sometimes tend to get overlooked. For example, 173 Company of the Pioneer Corps was billeted at the public elementary school just behind the courthouse, which was called Eglinton School. They were billeted there, and the school took a direct hit on the night of 4th-5th May 1941. And 3 of the bodies that died in that incident are buried here in Belfast City Cemetery. In total, the commanding officer of the unit, Major Hemmelrich, died along with 11 of his men. 1 soldier is buried in Yorkshire. 3 of the fatalities are buried here in City Cemetery. Private Leonard Charles Christian was 27 years old and was the son of James Wilfred Christian and Mabel Helen Samways of Marylebone in London. Private Felix Morassi was 25 years old and was also an Englishman. Lance Corporal Harry Norman Pickup was 22 years old and he came from Pinner in Middlesex.